Should the government be able to detain suspected terrorists without trial? The answer to this question is no. The government has the power to detain people suspected of terrorism for life without any court hearing or trial. I believe that this is unfair and not right. Anybody suspected of terrorism can be put in prison for life. This is a violation of the Bill of Rights, which states that everybody has the right to a fair and speedy trial. Denying anybody this right because of suspicion alone isn't the right thing to do. The government doesn't just do this with people who are clearly terrorists. There are certain factors that can contribute to being suspected of terrorism. Some things that people can be suspected of terrorism for can be as simple as being religious, protesting gun control, or disagreeing with the UN. These are just political views that people can be arrested for without trial. The government shouldn't be able to disregard the Bill of Rights on suspicion. If you're suspected of terrorism, not only will you be detained without trial, but you can be arrested using unnecessary force like SWAT teams in the middle of the night. The government doesn't have the right to do these things, and we shouldn't stand by and let them do this. R. Carter Pittman said, "The very first step towards despotism is to establish courts that can be rigged and juries that can be stacked by those in power to effectuate their will and policies, which they will always affirm to be best for the country." In 1966, Mr. Justice White said, "This Sixth Amendment guarantee is an important safeguard to prevent undue and oppressive incarceration prior to trial, minimize anxiety and concern accompanying public accusation, and to limit the possibilities that long delay will impair the ability of an accused to defend himself." James Madison said that in all capital or criminal prosecutions, as man hath a right to demand the cause and nature of his accusation, to be confronted with the accusers or witnesses, to call for evidence in his favor, and to a speedy trial by an impartial jury of his vicinage, without whose unanimous consent he cannot be found guilty, nor can he be compelled to give evidence against himself, that no man be deprived of this liberty, except by the law of the land or the judgment of his peers. James Madison also said, "Trial by jury cannot be considered as a natural right, but a right resulting from social compact which regulates the action of the community, but is as essential to secure the liberty of the people as any one of the pre-existing rights of nature."